This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf that is available in print in 14 states at your local cannabis retailer and also available online at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, your host of Leaf Life, with my co-host Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And of course, there's AJOG.
Hola, aloha, OGs.
And Mary J. White.
Baked with love.
Welcome to the second half of this Leaf Life show called Tolerance Breaks. In just a moment, we'll get into whether tolerance breaks are a good thing for you. And we'll spin AJ's wheel to see what products Chris CAMPAGNANO, who is a medically certified bud tender for a Greener Today cannabis retail shop in Bothel, Washington, and he's also our Northwest Leaf featured bud tender of the month for September 2024. This shows Greg the guinea pig and what he's going to be trying next. But first, it's time for Why Didn't I Think of That?
Why didn't I think of that?
Why didn't I think of that?
Wow, why didn't I think of that?
Because you were stoned.
Hey, Mary J. White.
Yeah.
New innovations in cannabis technology
You guys,
and beyond.
I really wish I had thought of this.
Okay.
This is the most absurdly expensive little tiny piece of bullshit.
Absurd.
It's absurd.
really?
Okay, so let me tell you about the Edie Parker burn clutch. Ooh, yeah.
Sounds cool.
Wow.
Sounds sophisticated. Like you.
I know. Yeah, sophisticated. Okay. So Edie Parker, I don't know who the fuck that is. But anyway, just so you can see this, it's a teeny tiny purse.
They can't see it, but it's a
Okay.
teeny tiny purse.
Wow.
And it's like teeny tiny.
Like silver? Little clutch
yeah,
bag?
it's a little
It's a
metallic.
little baby clutch.
Cute little clutch bag. Okay,
very small.
adorable.
Greg the
Very
guinea
cute.
pig's girlfriend would love that.
She would. Genevieve. Anyway,
Genevieve.
so you guys probably don't carry purses, but many of us do.
A Merce.
Well, yeah, you got your Merce, which is
Merce.
totally
Of
cool.
course you do,
But
Ricker.
one thing that we always lose in our bag, whether it's a Merce or a purse,
that?
is a motherfucking lighter.
Oh,
Okay, all right. So, this inconvenience is now a thing of the past, thanks to Edie Parker's coveted burn clutch. Yes, since it comes with a mini Bic lighter attached, you'll be ready to spark up whenever the moment calls for it. And guess what? This is such a great price, you guys.
Oh.
$295.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
expensive.
gosh, for
Bargain.
a lighter sheet.
Wow.
Bargain.
No, but I mean,
Lighter
but did you hear the lighter comes attached?
Thank
so,
you.
like,
Thank
you're not
you.
going to lose it.
Right.
And $295
Come
for
on.
that, that
Over a
inconvenience.
10-year period, you just saved $295 in lighters, brother.
that math probably works out. I
Let's
will
go.
be honest
For
with
a
you.
real stoner.
Get the burn clutch.
Thank you very much,
You're
Mary J.
welcome.
White. You're so sophisticated.
Yeah, whatever, man.
And clutchy and pursy and
I'm
mercy.
glad I didn't think of that.
It's like a fancy, like bougie
Yeah, it's
lighter
so
leash.
bougie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
just-
the lighter leash.
$295.
Yeah.
All right, AJ, spin that wheel. See what Chris is going to be hitting next.
All right. Well, Chris, we've got another beautiful set of joints by Del Labo, California. This is from their Sweets collection. So go ahead and pull one there for you.
Sweet. Look at that presentation. AJ's got her Tolerance Breaks outfit on.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
We're very tie-dye today. You're tie-dye. Wes is tie-dye. The tapestries are kind of tie-dye.
He's tie-dye.
Let's
And,
use it.
Yeah,
just
we're all
happened that way.
tie-dyed up in here.
It's just happened though. You know,
Stoner
it's the
style.
universe. Oh, and Chris is wearing tie-dye.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stoner style.
Wowies.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
wearing tie-dye.
Oh, yeah.
Mary, you're the only one.
Blank slate.
Mary's hair is
She's wearing
tie-dyed.
Oh, my hair is tie-dye.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
She's got a
right.
little pink cuff in the front right there, right?
I just wanted to say too, the pull on these things phenomenal, and the taste
Yeah.
pre-light,
Yeah.
just the pull on those phenomenal.
They're top shelf. in
Really,
California.
Yeah.
really good weed.
Yeah, big ups to De La Beau. And, congratulations for being featured on the Leaf Life podcast. That's a flex.
No
As
doubt.
many,
Thank
as
you.
many cannabis companies there are in the United States to be featured on this one, which is a worldwide podcast. We're downloaded all over the world, streamed and on other planets, Jupiter, Mars, you name it, brother.
Jupiter,
We're very
Mars.
popular. All right, hey, let's talk about it, man. Is it good for you? Why? Who's the scientist? how do we actually know, Chris?
So, I mean,
tolerance breaks. I mean,
yeah, I mean, what's the deal with those? What's the deal with tolerance breaks? No, so again, and we had touched on this a little bit in the last segment, but when you say who is the scientist, like, I mean, the scientist is you. Like, the scientist is the consumer, in my opinion, because realistically, you can take the facts and you can surmise what you want to from the facts, but the one thing that you should always listen to is your body. And so, if you, I would like to give some, personal, tolerance break experience here myself. So I have the way I do, everybody does tolerance breaks differently. Some people do them, and a tolerance break is what it is defined by the person as, if somebody's like, well, I take tolerance breaks during the week. I only smoke during the weekend. That is a tolerance break, and if someone says, I only smoke at nighttime, if you're not smoking through the day, that is a tolerance break. It's technically not a long one, but it still is. What I want to, keep reiterating, and I know that I have done it 100 times now, is that everybody's different. But for me, my version of a tolerance break is once a year. I take a month out of the year and I just stop smoking cannabis. I mean, I stopped doing everything, but obviously cannabis, plays into that.
Yeah.
What that
January?
It varies. It varies by when, some months I know I did 1 month in October. That was awful because, exactly. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. But the thing about it is, for me, I can give you my personal experience of it. It's great to reflect. It's great to look back and, see what cannabis does for you. And I think a good way to do that is to maybe take a step back and, see what you feel and what your life is without it. And so even if that's for a short period of time, like that for me was always my methodology. I also always want to prove to myself that nothing in my life is holding me hostage. So, and I'm not saying, and again, I'm not saying
codependency.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that, and that someone who uses cannabis daily, I use cannabis daily, is it's holding their life hostage. It is different for everybody. But if you start to realize that you're missing out on some things because of your, extensive use of cannabis, then maybe, reflect on that. And that for me, is always great. In that month, it gives me time to reflect on myself.
Yes.
And maybe, do some things like, the one thing that I will say about tolerance breaks is you do not realize how much, time consuming cannabis takes. Like, especially if you're a joint roller like myself, it is, if you're the
culture.
Exactly. And so like when you have that, 2 to 3 hours a day to allot to yourself in different, you find, different things to do and you discover yourself a little bit. So
I really want to piggyback off of that. And I want to say that absolutely, I feel that taking tolerance breaks is actually very vital to maintaining a sacred relationship with this plant. Like, this plant is a spirit medicine. Anything we take into our bodies that shifts our spiritual conscious awareness is a spirit medicine. And so I feel it's really important that you take tolerance breaks, whether that's alcohol, cannabis, some people like their cocaine or their mushrooms. Like, if you don't take those tolerance breaks, then you're not allowing your body to, recalculate, reassess, reestablish, and then, reevaluate that relationship again, making sure that you're not over consuming or under consuming, because you can assess once you're at ground zero again.
Yeah.
And I just want to piggyback off that by saying as well, 2 piggybacks today.
That's a camelback.
Yes. That, if you do out there in the world right now, I'm seeing that a lot of cannabis folks who've been OGs in the industry long time are starting to take their tolerance breaks, maybe for their first time in 10 years. And I just want to say, OGs, be mindful with what it does, how it does affect your serotonin, your dopamine levels, all of that. Be aware, you're probably going to feel emotional waves of down and up because of what happens. You're allowing your body to reset. So look for your help and your support when you're going through that. And make sure you talk to an Ayurvedic or a holistic practitioner when you're navigating. And I just want to finish off by saying that the reason I took my my break was because I was experiencing a lack of motivation to get it done today. Like I knew I had the energy to get it done. The urgency piece was starting to shift for me, you know? And so I actually went on a spirit medicine journey with 5-MeO DMT, which is, this is a whole different topic, but I want to say that spirit molecule, it resets you like the moment you were born. Yeah. And so it gave,
especially if you break through. But again, topic for
all of my receptors,
like
all of my receptors were just like, it was like a floodgate was lifted, like a dam came down, and it's like I stepped forward. I didn't need anything. Like I didn't need anything but my water and my food. And it was just so clear. So there is help out there. If you're feeling stuck, there's help out there. And I just think tolerance breaks are such a beautiful way of recognizing the spiritual relationship with these plant medicines.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That was very well
stuff.
said.
Yeah.
That was very well said. Yeah. And too, I did, a piggyback off your piggyback, especially it is very difficult. And I can assume that it is very difficult for someone. It's a daunting task for somebody who has been an everyday consumer for, 20, 25 years to just make this decision to cut out a part of their life that is, that has been, a part of their life forever.
It's a relationship with the plant.
Truly. And just because you stop, smoking the plant or even ingesting the plant doesn't mean you need to stop your relationship with it. You can continue to learn about and grow with it. But I do think that, it is a really good reset for some of these people who just haven't experienced anything other than cannabis use for, long periods of time. Again, take that with a grain of salt, because if you're in extreme pain and cannabis is the only thing that helps you, I want you to continue to use that. I want you to get the fullest out of your life. I want everybody to get the fullest out of their life. So,
and that's the beautiful thing, is that as a medicine, you can be a patient for life. And maybe it just changes. You start out smoking a lot, you end up vaporizing, you end up in gummies and tincture land. I don't know if I'll be dabbing at 80 if I'm lucky enough to be here. But I hope that I'll still have that relationship with the plant, just in a different way. Yeah. And probably need it more.
Yeah.
Than now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially when you consider the whole picture.
Well, let me just say, as a senior citizen, one thing you will all learn is shit hurts. When you get old,
I'm learning it now.
Shit hurts.
Something new every day.
All right. Hey, Chris, now it's time for you to play Florida Man.
This Florida man is accused of having sex with a miniature horse.
Arresting a naked man.
Obviously intoxicated.
Attacking a man with a singing fish plaque.
And waving bags of drugs around.
It sounds funny, but it's not once you're the one being given the wedgie.
It's Florida Man.
All righty. Here we go. You've heard of the state of Florida, right?
A little bit.
Very famous.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's crazy out there. People are crazy.
They're just redneck, man.
Yeah, somewhat.
Look, I grew up in Florida.
Yeah,
I can say that.
Same here.
Half my family are fucking
same. If I do poorly at this game, I'm going to be pretty upset. As a native Floridian. So.
Well, there's either poorly or well, because there's only one answer. We've got 3 headlines, news headlines, and only one is true.
Okay,
you ready? Okay, here we go. Florida man. Number 1, Chris Campagnano. Florida man in Deadpool costume seriously injured after attempting to complete triple side flip twist from the Ohatchee Bridge that results in a broken pelvis and a giant scream of the word fuck.
Oh, God.
Okay.
That one hurts even here.
Ouch.
Number 2. Florida man accused of robbing local Quickie Mart convenience store with Hasbro Nerf Super Soaker XP100 water blaster and demanding the clerk open the storage area to hand over entire supply of crackle bars.
Wow.
Crackle
Oddly
bars.
specific.
And number 3. Florida man vapes semen.
Ew.
Oh, God.
No. Not recommend. Do not recommend.
He's got a very sour look on his brow.
That is. Wow. Wow, that's
I
something
think
else.
the last one
That's
might,
Florida.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's got to. I mean, yeah, it's
1, 2, or 3.
It's got to be. It's got to be 3.
He's
It's so
Yeah.
disgustingly stupid.
Got
that-
one right.
Wow.
It is true. All the credit goes to website The Daily Dot for exposing a video of a Florida man taking a hot hit of semen on his new vape. His friends filming the episode proudly claim he's the first man ever to vape semen.
Who contributed the semen?
Neil Armstrong is turning over his grave. I
Oh
do
my
not
God.
know. First man on the moon, by the way.
The price of fame.
Come on, be better, Florida.
Yeah.
You know, I'm repping your state here.
Yeah, come on.
Poor little future child.
Chris,
That's brutal.
where can we find you on social media?
So it is Chris, CHRIZDATWIZTA, Chris da Twista. I figured I'd spell it out. It's so hard to say. So,
What about
yeah.
a greener today, bro?
A greener today. We have a page for each of our sites. So I would say if you're looking, I mean, obviously our website, but also website, just a quick shout out to that. It does have all of our upcoming vendor days and things on it. So feel free to check that out. But just look up AGT and a greener today, and each of the store locations will have its own Instagram.
Cool. Hey, man, thank you so
Nice.
much for being on the Leaf Life podcast.
Thank you guys. This has been an honor, a pleasure, and enjoy smoking and talking with you all. This has been great.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, Wes, next week, hydroplane racing.
Oh, I
That
remember
sounds
that.
like something you can't do high.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Maybe.
get wet, y'all.
Download this and all Leaf Life episodes at leafmagazines.com. And please subscribe on YouTube at Leaf Life Podcast V2. Now get ready for another episode of Stony Baloney, which is also available at leafmagazines.com. And please be kind to animals.
Your hosts for Leaf Life are Mike Ricker and Wes Abney. Leaf Life is produced by Mike Daly. Some of the music heard is provided by purple-planet.com. Every bit of cannabis you use is female, so please respect the ladies. Leaf Life is brought to you by Leaf Nation, featuring Alaska Leaf, Oregon Leaf, Northwest Leaf, Maryland Leaf, Amsterdam Leaf, and California Leaf. On the shelf now in your local retailer. Now, please stay tuned for this week's edition of Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Getting socks as a gift. There's not a damn thing wrong with socks. Hell, life without them just wouldn't be as cozy. In fact, I can't say there's a more soothing sensation than pulling up a brand spanking new pair of cotton fluffiness over the feet. It's a reward for those soldiers, a way of thanking them for taking a pounding and being the trusted vehicles that get you from point P to point Q. Did you know that your feet are amongst the heaviest producers of sweat in the body? And socks are there to soak all that up and prevent the scent of cheese from settling into your shoe. I know what you're thinking. The smell of cheese in your shoes is not Gouda. So, you better be ready to head to Monterey, Jack. Awkward silence. Anyway, we've become spoiled because socks are now a commodity we take for granted. What was once a true luxury of the bourgeoisie has become a mass-produced, commonplace afterthought found on the discount aisle at Marshall's. And getting them as a gift almost feels like a jip. But you can't blame Grandma. Her purpose is to keep you clothed and well-souped. After all, her grandmother grew up in the Great Depression, so having the ability to provide comfort for her brood is her way of expressing love. And socks have become cool with their graphic prints of Hindu patterns and weed symbols. In fact, socks are a great way to make a statement. And that statement is that you are so fucking fashionable that when it comes to dressing, no stone is unturned. And if they think my socks are dope, wait until they get a look at my underwear. Now, it should be noted that getting socked in the face sucks. unless it's with a bag of weed that stinks like Fremunda.
Stony baloney.
Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker or Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming.
Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment.
Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products.
For use by adults 21 and older.
Keep out of the reach of children.